All right, welcome to the next episode of Discipline, Desire, and Dedication. My name is Dakota Lang. Co-host Garrett Cotton is not with us today, but we have Mr. Jack Walton.
What's up?
So,
how's it going?
Yeah, we're going to kind of do something a little bit different today. We're in Pike County Speedway,
Yep.
so Magnolia, Mississippi. Doing a little dirt racing, and we're just going to kind of talk about, Jack's going to interview me just as far as like my racing journey, how I got to where I am today, and kind of, where I got my passion for it.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and talk about, you just got in last night at around midnight, flew into New Orleans from what, Vegas?
From Vegas, yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so came in from Vegas.
First time in the South. It's all very new to me. So,
what is your first impression like whenever you started driving towards Hammond?
it's super green.
Yeah.
Like where I'm from in southern Utah, it's not like lush and like there's not tons of vegetation everywhere.
Right.
It's super green and there's like water, like it's swampy, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which was just, I guess I knew that coming into it, but it's not what I expected, I guess.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But it's cool.
It's cool to kind of see where where me, Cotton, are
Yeah.
from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of just seeing like what we grew up around. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So, let's jump right into it.
Yeah. So I guess first of all, like when did you start? When did you grow up like watching family race or like how did you get into it?
So, as a kid growing up, my parents got into a thing called AMRA horseshoe racing. Back in I think it was like 2005, 2004, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And it's two side-by-side mud trucks, and they go around a horseshoe. And I grew up around that, and we did that for a while. But whenever I was a kid, we used to race like every single Sunday. It was on Sundays.
Yeah.
So we would drive to North Louisiana like 3.5 hours, and we would start racing around 12 o'clock, and then we wouldn't get home till midnight, and my parents would get up and go to work on Monday morning.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a totally different process than what we got right here,
Yeah.
But, yeah, went through that. And then as a kid, I did some little four-wheeler drag races and stuff like that. My parents drag raced. My mom and my dad had a truck for a while there.
Yeah.
And then I eventually got my own truck, went through that process. And then I probably had that truck. I got it on my 16th birthday.
Yeah.
Or 14th birthday. It was one of them. And I raced that truck for probably like 6 years.
Okay.
And then
so you were racing when you were 14 and 15 before you had a license.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So whenever I was a kid, I would even say probably around 12, 13, I was racing four-wheelers and stuff like that. Well, whenever I turned 14, that was when I started doing like the mud bogs. I was able to do the straight drag. You had to have a driver's license to do the horseshoe, but I was able to do the straight drag with my truck without a license.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been doing it since you were 14. Well, since younger than that, you've been watching it since you were younger. Than that.
Since I was a kid, probably about 6.
Mostly in Louisiana, or did you say it was in Mississippi then? Too?
Yeah, we did. We used to race in Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. We raced in some parts of Arkansas, and then as I got older, I once raced in Milton, Florida.
Oh wow,
Milton, Florida. So that was a pretty good drive.
Yeah. And it's always been dirt racing.
Dirt and mud.
Dirt and mud.
Dirt and mud. Yeah.
Like, I guess what is the biggest like why mud racing versus like something like NASCAR, which is like just on a paved
an asphalt?
Yeah, like what?
I would just say that it was kind of just something that I grew up in.
Yeah.
And I always used to make the joke that, whenever you're going in a straight line, anybody could drive straight.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it was whenever you start doing the turns and stuff like that, getting in the mud, you know, it's you actually have to drive rather than just go straight. But I mean, there are some of them cars out there, them drag racers that are going super fast.
So, I don't know what I was expecting, but your car's a little bit banged up. So I probably should have assumed that you're bumping into each other when you're driving around. It's not like I guess in F1 they bump into each other, but you're mostly just trying to drive. You're not necessarily bumping to get in position.
It's not your goal. Like obviously you don't want to run all over people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even whenever you are going through, because it's just a dirt track, oval track, I mean, you're going through the dirt, so you might bang up a little bit, but it's not like you're trying to go up and run up on somebody.
Right.
But you do bump around, especially like in the curve and stuff like that. You might dent it up a little bit.
Trying to get position and stuff.
Fight for position.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit more about how this weekend is going to work. You said yesterday you were in a heat what did you call it?
Yeah, well, let's go back. So how this whole ordeal happened was one of my good friends, Darian, which you met him.
Yeah.
Me and him were talking about, so he used to have a dirt car, right? So whenever I was still selling real estate in Louisiana, I used to always go over there. He had a limited modified, and I used to always go over there and, kind of help just be around it again. My parents didn't race anymore, and I was just always around it. And used to help him a good bit, watched him race, and then eventually, I moved to Denver with performance and didn't really get to be around it as much.
Right.
And I would say it's probably sometime around June of this year. It's crazy. We laugh about it now, right?
Yeah.
Me and him were literally sitting on the phone, and he had an old junk car that he got. I can't remember exactly how he got it, like traded it or something. And it just needed to be like fully rebuilt. It needed to be built up to, be a race car.
Right.
And we started talking about it. I was like, all right, perfect, dude. We'll do that. He can work on the car, and, we'll get all the parts, and we'll kind of work together as a team to make this whole process. Because I don't have the time to put into the car, working on it mechanically and stuff like that with how much, time performance Windows demands from me. So we kind of worked together and kind of started our little team, and sure enough, it turned into, hey, we bought a car. We were like,
and that's this car. So he had this one that you were working on previously.
We never even started on it. It was just a conversation, and then we're like,
and then it got going.
Yeah, and then we're like, all right, this might be a little bit more than what we want to jump into. Like, let's go ahead and get a base, a platform going.
Right.
And that's when we bought that car, and we used his dad's trailer a couple times, and then obviously we just got this built probably a month ago. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does it all work with? Because you were telling me a little bit about you're going to be starting in the middle of the pack with the race because obviously everybody can't be at the start of the track. Yeah. So how does that work? I mean, who gets the front versus the back? I mean,
so like yesterday they did. So this is a 3-day event. Pike County, they call it Jambalaya 100. I think yesterday had like 170 car count show up, so a lot of cars, right?
Yeah.
There was 30 entries in my class. I think it might have been like 35, somewhere around there. But the way they do it is, yesterday we went out for hot laps, which is kind of like qualifying.
Yeah.
And they, were clocking us on time as we're making those couple laps. And from there, they each put us into a heat, right? So they break us up into like 4 different heats.
Yeah.
And then off of our time, they'll pair us up like that. And then we go out there and we run for a little. We'll all go run like 8 laps. And it goes off of like passing points and stuff like that to where you'll have to qualify to get into the main feature.
Got it.
So the main feature's tonight.
Right.
And that's 30 laps.
30 laps.
30 laps.
How long does that take at? Like, what will the...
I've never ran 30 laps.
Okay.
The most I ever ran was 20 laps whenever I raced at Cotton Bowl Speedway by Austin, Texas. But it was they made me race a class higher than what I'm normally running because like my tires weren't legal or something like that. So that was kind of like just like an exhibition, but I did the full 20 laps. But when you're in the race car, man, it goes by so much faster.
I bet.
You know what I mean?
Got all that adrenaline.
Yeah, all that adrenaline, and you're constantly just focused on the next move.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you're thinking about that, then you're not focused on what's right in front of you, and it could be another car beside you or coming behind you. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So what's your goal for tonight? Like what 20 laps? How long did 20 laps take? I guess.
Well, the lap time that I was running yesterday was like 22 seconds.
Okay.
So
times that by 20.
Yeah.
What do you get? I don't even know.
I don't even. 20, 40, 60. So 3 laps take a minute.
Yeah.
So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So, but it's just 7 minutes. But in reality, you're going to have cautions.
Right.
You know what I mean? If somebody spins out, somebody wrecks, there's a caution right there.
Right.
You got to make a couple laps, get it stuff. So, I mean, it's going to take a little bit.
So, caution, what does that mean?
So, that means like if we're running around the track and somebody wrecks, then they'll throw a caution. That means we all slow down and we'll make our laps until they get the car
clear
the track. Yeah, and then we'll get back going.
So, but how does that work if, say you're at the start of you're 100, 200 yards in front of the guy in the back, and now he's able to catch up.
Yep, we all get back in a box.
Yeah,
yep.
So, I mean, that seems like...
No, that's just part of the game.
Just part of it.
Yeah, so there's a caution come back, they bunch all the cars back up, and we restart.
Oh, wow.
Yep, not restart the full race, but if we're on lap 10, we'll just resume from lap 10 with the green flag. Yep.
Okay, so it's almost like advantageous for if you're in the back, you want a caution to be able to catch up.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So we're thinking maybe around like 8-9 minutes for the 30 lap.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, that was 20 laps.
Yeah,
so maybe
20.
more like 12, 13
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But it's going to take longer than that because you're going to have
Cautions,
and
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be hard to go a 30-lap feature without no cautions.
So what are the regulations for the cars? I mean, like what you said with your tires, for example.
Yeah, so I don't really, as far as like the rules and all that, I leave that to Darian. Darian knows, he's been around the dirt cars for a long time. He knows all the rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but it was something like a Hoosier tire or something. I don't know exactly what it was. But yeah, we changed the tires and we're good now.
But like, could you have any kind of engine? Like, is a bigger engine?
Oh yeah. So
not
they
allowed?
They do have restrictions, right? So they have certain restrictions that you can go to, like each class, right? Because there's like 5 or 6 classes, something like that.
Yeah.
And each class has its own restrictions. Like obviously they got some that allow bigger motors.
Right.
Mine's a factory pure stock. I'm not sure exactly what the cubic inch is. I know Darian knows it.
Yeah.
But I would say we're probably hitting the curve at around 60, 65.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
pretty quick.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Do you ever get, you obviously have all that adrenaline. Do you ever get nervous when you're driving, or is it just like you're in the moment, you're not thinking about that?
Yeah. Definitely whenever I'm going, pulling up to the start, and, we're getting ready to go out on the track, I get nervous. I try to slow the moment down. That's my philosophy.
Because people can get hurt doing this.
I mean, yeah.
Like, it's pretty dangerous, too.
Yeah, but we got proper equipment.
Right.
Helmet, fire suit,
right.
Seat, but racing bucket seats and stuff like that.
And you're all caged in.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of safety factors that go into it.
How many races have you ever done?
The dirt car?
Yeah.
This is going to be my third.
Okay.
This is going to be my third.
So you haven't been in, I feel like I would have heard if you were in like a pretty serious like accident then. You haven't had anything like that. Have you been in a race where somebody else was?
Yeah. So, well, I would say an accident. There was, back whenever I was mud racing, 4-wheel drive mud trucks, we were hitting the curve and I hit the dude and he spun out and he hit my door.
Yeah.
But as far as like any bad wrecks, I haven't been in.
Haven't had anything.
I've seen some. Bad. I've seen some bad wrecks.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've never seen like nobody really get injured.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of risk that goes into it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, what would when you drove it, when you got in the truck and came into the track for the first time, what was like your impression? Like, what was your thought?
Well, I didn't. This may be naive of me, but I didn't know it was like a horseshoe track. Like I thought it might be like a. Like just you're racing around, doing like it. I didn't know it was like a
circle,
just a circle.
Yeah.
Like I thought it might be like you're racing through trees and
right.
Making turns and you're not just going in a circle.
But
it's cool. Yeah, it's just not what I was expecting. You got the stands. Like everybody comes out for these things. Like there's a lot of people here.
Mm-hmm.
Like people love this. In Utah, maybe they do this kind of thing, but I doubt it. I've never been to an event like this,
I don't know.
But people like live for this stuff from what I've seen.
Oh yeah,
like it's.
But they got people that come out here, from all over the country. They did it was an I-55 street stock shootout or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big race earlier this year.
Yeah,
and they had people coming from all over the states, dude. You know what I mean? Like big payouts and stuff like that. People travel for it.
What is the payout for this race?
So this race right here, I think my class is on like 3,000.
Okay,
3,000 first place.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think 3,000 to win.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and yeah, bro, it's cool.
What time is the race tonight?
7.
Maybe we could do it like an Instagram live or something on our page and have people tune in for it.
Yeah.
7 o'clock. Yeah. We might have to do that. That would be interesting.
Yeah. People
see who tunes in. So, you've known Darian for how long then? You said.
Man, I've been knowing Darian for about 4 years.
4 years. And he races himself, or is he just like a mechanic?
No, he races the car.
He races the car, the same car as you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yep. He races the car. Well, so we kind of got a little program set up to where I'll drive 5 races, he'll drive 5 races.
Yeah.
And next year we're gonna have everything planned out. But yeah, so he drives a certain races, and then I do as well.
So is this like one of the smaller dirt car races, or like is there like you build up to get to this race that is somewhere that I've never heard of? Like
they have some stuff like some bigger cars.
Yeah.
But just like as far as my class and stuff, I mean they have a couple bigger races, but this is one of the bigger races.
This is one of the bigger races. Okay.
Yeah.
So the purse like at that 3,000-4,000 is like that's.
Well, they know now they have. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they have like there's a race that Darian's going to race next year in like March.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's like 100,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think they're paying out some big money.
Wow.
Or 10,000, something like that. So they definitely have some races that they'll have a big pot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess it just all depends where you go.
Okay.
This kind of the dirt track scene's fairly new to me.
Yeah.
But I'm addicted to it, bro.
Yeah, you love it.
I'm addicted to it. Well, the thing is whenever I did the horseshoe racing and the dirt drag, you would go out there and you'd make a pass and it would last for 30 seconds, or dirt drag, it lasts for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Dirt car, you're making 30 laps.
Yeah.
You're getting some drive time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's no, all right, let's talk about it and make another pass.
Right.
No, I mean, you got to go. You know what I mean?
Going.
Yeah, there's no stopping. Yeah. There's no coming off, talking about it. No, you got to go the full strength.
So in the last podcast, you said something like, you've been able to do this, but now you're able to really do it now that you've been working for Performance Windows. You've got a great job that
helps me find. I mean, this hobby ain't cheap.
Yeah, right. So talk a little bit about that. I mean, does that keep you motivated during the week when you're like to looking forward to a weekend like this? Is that what keep you motivated?
Yeah. Racing. The reason that I love racing so much is this is kind of how I grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My parents racing. My mom had a truck. My dad had a truck.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like something that me and my family always have done together.
Kind of nostalgic. Then.
So now in the position that I am, we're able to afford it. You know, we can come out here and we can enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it's easy if you come out here and you try to do, racing, you try to do, cut corners and stuff like that.
Right.
It's just like anything in life. It makes you work harder.
Right.
And that's one thing that now with the position that I'm in, we're able to have nice stuff.
Yeah.
To where
I wish everybody could see this trailer. It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll definitely get some footage and show you guys on the Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, it's, but you look at, we were laughing about it the other day because you look at the rig that we have now, but back in my dad was talking about it last night. He was like, well, when we was mud racing, man, if rain came, you couldn't come run into an enclosed trailer and just sit down here in the AC and wait for it to pass.
Right.
We used to have tents that you'd have to go stand up under with rubber boots and just hope and pray that, hey, it stops soon.
Right. Yeah.
But the main reason that is because this is something I get to do with my family. Dude.
Right.
Darian, Brooklyn, Journey, my parents, both of my grandpas are coming tonight,
kind of takes you back to your childhood.
Man, I get to spend some good quality time with the people that I love, because especially, living away from them and stuff like that, this is kind of our time where we can all get together, and I try to make it the best experience that I can for them. Just come here, hang out, got the TV, watch the football game. Just try to make it all about the experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Does Garrett do anything like this, or has he ever been to a race? No,
I don't think so. I was talking to him because he was supposed to come when it rained out 2 weeks ago, and I don't think maybe whenever he was a kid he said.
Yeah.
But I don't think
he's not into it like you are though.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is not like something that he lives in Dallas by now.
Okay.
He made a joke. He was like, I'm gonna drive it. And I'm like, we're gonna see.
Yeah. Well, how many gears is the car?
2 gears.
Two gears.
Well, it has power glide. So yeah, two speed, 3 speed.
Power glide was what?
Yeah. So pretty much, I just put it in second gear and just go.
Go. That's it.
Yeah, just hold it to the floor and drive.
I don't know why. I mean, maybe like in NASCAR, there's like six gears in the car, probably. Yeah. Or are they power glide like?
I think it might be power glide.
Really
too.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think a bunch of those cars are like that. I mean, it's just I don't know exactly how it works. So.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk to people where I'm from that probably assume they're automatic cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not.
Right.
Like.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like on the mud trucks and stuff like that, we used to first, second, third.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here, you just put it in second gear and run.
Yeah.
See what it does.
So did you learn driving manual then, doing this, or did you have a manual car growing up when you were just driving back and forth from school, or like how did you
stick?
Learn? Yeah.
So it's not like that.
Okay.
You're just gonna put it in drive, right? But I did drive stick.
Oh, you did?
Back in
Okay.
high school, I used to have a.
So it's
F-150.
not manual, and you just put it in gear
Put it in gear and go.
and go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it in gear and go.
I don't know why I figured all race cars were.
Well, it's just like a 2-speed, I guess
Yeah.
it is. So you got park, neutral, or reverse, and then first and second.
First and second.
Yeah. So and I just put it in second and go. Yeah.
And that's what you started.
That's what I started, and that's what I finished. That's what I run the whole time.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the whole time that I'm racing.
Wow.
Yeah, so and I can't wait to bring Michael on. Michael
Yeah.
St. Angelo. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about him. He's the guy that's going to be coming on next. What is?
Yeah, man, it's a late model, super fast car.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. After we do this podcast, I want you to go over there and maybe shoot some content of this car and stuff like that, just so people can see it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty impressive, bro. Got a nice rig.
He's got a trailer like this, then I imagine.
He got a bigger trailer now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, his trailer is like, it's dumb.
People really do this stuff.
Oh, they got some people, dude. They got $600,000 rigs driving around. You know, it's like
crazy.
holy cow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because it's not my hobby. It's just not something I probably will ever do. But it's awesome that people get so into it and spend so much time and money getting into it. I love it. So it's cool. It's
and especially for somebody that's never experienced it, it's pretty. It's culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you see these people and you're like, I would have never thought people did this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's super cool. How much time we got left here? Let's see. I'm going for about 22 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
Well, yeah, I mean, is there anything, that you would want to, share, anything else that you would want to share about racing? Like, I mean, what do you, let's
I would say that one thing about racing, I would say just any competitive sport, right, is that this is why sports are so amazing, in my opinion. They teach you so much about leadership.
Yeah.
And holding yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And also just how to really slow down the moment, right?
Yeah.
Because anything in life, professional athletes, professional race car drivers, or just a local track. When you're going around there and you're going super fast and just trying to slow down the moment just to make, because every turn is so crucial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're talking about half a second, 0.3 of a second. These cars are between their fastest time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's not much room for error.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to really make sure that every steer that you turn, that you're pretty precise on your actions that you make while you're driving.
Right.
And just making sure that everything's slowed down to where you have full control over the vehicle.
Yeah. How do you I guess you live in obviously Texas, so you can't practice. I mean, it's just from race to race.
Yeah.
Like how do these guys you just get better from racing all the time? Like, or you can't really practice, I imagine.
They do. So they do. Like today was this race was a 3-day race, so we came in for practice Thursday night.
Yeah.
But as far as just like going and practicing at a track, not really.
Yeah.
But any chance that some people get like early in the season around March, you'll have some tracks that they'll have like a test and tune day.
Yeah.
People come out and get some laps and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, man. I just came out. I'm just doing it.
Just doing it.
Yeah, just doing it.
Just trying to getting better every time with every race.
Just figuring it out, and yeah, it's cool, man. We're gonna finish out. This is the last race of the season. So after this year, Darian's gonna pull out the motor. We're gonna lighten up the car. We're gonna fully deck it out, and really see exactly, what heights that we can bring the car to. Because I mean, we want to win.
Yeah,
I've never been in the victory lane on a dirt track, so I want to do whatever it got to take.
So what's the plans with the car then? Do you know exactly what you're going to be doing, or?
We're gonna max out the motor. Put some stuff in the motors, whatever the rule book would allow us to.
Yeah.
And cut some weight because we're like 500 pounds overweight.
Oh,
so,
wow.
I mean, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Slowing you down a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's just dragging me down. So we're gonna try to find out, trim it up a little bit, lighten it up, and just try to do it. Whatever we got to do to get that thing in victory lane, I will do it.
Yeah.
I literally told Darian, I was like, dude, like, I don't care what it takes. We're coming here to win.
Yeah.
And we're excited for it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever do something like this over in Texas, or you want to keep it here, like where you grew up?
No, we're gonna next year. We're really gonna plan it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really gonna plan it out. Like I said, I want to race like 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
So just try to plan it out throughout the year. I can space it out through work and stuff like that. And
Just do it all over the country, though.
Yeah, well, the South.
The South, yeah.
South, yeah. So you're talking about Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple other Arkansas, maybe Houston.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It just depends. They got a couple different like point series and stuff like that. That's more of Darian. He knows that like the back of his hand.
Okay. Very cool.
So.
Very cool. Yeah, it's all very interesting to me, just being the first time.
Yeah, no.
I love it though. It's super cool.
And then what we'll do is, because don't you have those other mics?
Yeah.
Perfect. So what we'll do is like after we make some laps and stuff like that, we'll shoot some more content with just me with that other mic, and we'll add it to this podcast.
Yeah.
And to where it can just extend the podcast like an interview after I make some laps. It'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely. That's a great
Let
idea.
people see it, kind of add it on there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool. Well, awesome. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to share?
I think that's it, bro.
We're going about 25 minutes. I mean, we can keep
perfect.
talking if you want to, or.
I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
I guess now we just gotta go out there, get some content, kind of meet some people, and I'm excited. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I'm excited to see it for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So.
It's almost like culture shock. Right?
Yeah.
Like
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it's really cool. I like it.
So, well, heck yeah, man. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Got a different type of episode here today, but first of all, thank our supporters. Thank everybody that supports DDD in any way, shape, or form. We appreciate all y'all. Make sure to like and subscribe to all of our pages. We're on TikTok, Apple Podcast, Facebook, Instagram,
Spotify.
Oh, we are on Spotify.
We are on
now.
Spotify.
Yep, and YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment below. And we love y'all. And Cotton, we'll see Cotton next time.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace out.